all set to share your screen and go.
Greetings. Can you, okay, perfect. You're able to see my PowerPoint. Now, if you don't mind, let me change what screen. Okay.
Here you go.
Perfect. Greetings, everyone. My name is Gerard. I'm a developer and GCP enthusiast. I'm here to talk briefly about this new field that I've been investigating and constantly getting wavering between sheer confusion and total excitement. And then it is quantum computing. When you're most likely you must have heard or read something about quantum computing, whether it's the next big thing, it's about to change the way we approach algorithm or bring new solutions to the table, or a big company or government really investing seriously in quantum computing, or Amazon, Google, or Microsoft really creating a sector in which this new field is being explored. And then, of course, again, more and more companies investing in quantum computing. Now, to give a sense of, and I'm assuming that you might have heard or you may not know much about quantum computing. For us to approach this quickly, I have to give you a sense of classical computing. With classical computing's modern computers or electronics, they contain tiny, millions of tiny switches that we call transistors. And these transistors usually will have a state of 1 or 0. And a lot of our algorithm and or computation actually they benefit from the power generated by those two state systems. Now with quantum computing, of course, 0 and 1. With quantum computing, which is interesting, we also have a state of 0 and 1, but we also have the ability to contain multiple states at the same time. And there are so many different aspects and properties of those qubits, which is quantum bits, whether it's superposition, entanglement, or teleportation. It is truly fascinating. Now, quickly, just to give you an idea that this is not something that a new technology that's going to come and go and leave us. We have the big three the big three in development that I've invested heavily in this. You have Google, Microsoft, IBM. Google has Cirq, which I will touch upon at the end. A system that enables you to use to be able to simulate having a quantum computer. Microsoft has Q-Sharp doing the same thing. IBM also has an interesting system. It has Open QASM, but it also have a portal in which you are able to use simulated qubits in quantum computers, or you can actually put yourself in a queue to run your quantum algorithm. And then the industries that are really chasing after the power of quantum computing, you'd find cryptography, the pharmaceutical industry, and then for this one, we have to note one aspect that we all know of. It's the aspect of the adverse reactions or the adverse, when you take a drug, sometimes X takes the drug and nothing happens, and for you, something happens. The ability to simulate nature, to simulate what we have as a quantum component, a component or bodies, biology is full of massive factors, many different aspects that must be considered when it comes to one solution. And the ability to, in the future, it won't be so far that a drug is created with a base And then on the factory line, you'll input 1 million individuals with their own system, a study of their immune system, biology, where they live, and genetics, and have that drug specifically catered to their biology. Now, the finance industry, in its investment, forecast, wants to. Excuse me.
That my
Oh,
son was talking in the background. So it sounds like you've been learning a lot, Gerard,
quite a
and
bit.
it might be great to have as not just a lightning talk for 2 to 3 minutes, but an actual presentation of one of the following meetups.
My good friend, with this invitation, I think we're officially friends. I would love that. But I'm going to finish really quickly. And the usages for quantum computing is forecast, simulations, optimization. Now, the resources that I have been, one of the most important ones have been the O'Reilly Programming Quantum Computers. And the reason is it accommodates programming, which is my background. And it gives you this online portal where you can translate code into different systems: Qiskit, Q Sharp, and Cirq. Now, of course, this is something that I would love to do with the group. Have a couple sessions in which we look at the code, look at how we work with qubits, how we manipulate them, how we read them, how we experience amazing operations. And then lastly, I'd like to invite all of you, to a quantum programming learning club that we have. We can have one with the Google group. Right now, we have a couple of friends who meet every Monday to talk about a chapter of the O'Reilly book. We have Great Stack Communication, but we also have a system for programming buddies. If you'd like to meet and we can code together, figure out what's going on, what's happening with the qubits, you can have someone to do it for 30 minutes, an hour, and grow in this field. So thank you for your time, and I'm truly, truly excited about this.